Peoples of the universe, please attend carefully. The message that follows is vital to the future of you all.
It is always vital to the future of you all to pay attention closely. You never know what could happen or what's going to come in mouth. Although I haven't said, I just saw something. I got a notification from Hills versus Babyface. Okay, fine. No, it wasn't what I thought it said. The notification is the UK calls for immediate loot box regulations. Okay, fine. I thought it was going to be like a big, change in the whole pandemic thing, and thankfully it's not. Good evening, everybody. How are you? I was just thinking. A bit of channel news. Yes, a bit of channel news, which I'm quite excited about. I have a new show starting tomorrow night. And it's going to be a regular Friday night show. It's called The Rabbi from Another Planet's Video Vault. Why? The Rabbi from Another Planet's Video Vault. Well, I went for the first part because partially narcissism. That's the big one. That's actually quite a big part of it. And partially branding. Which, one could say is an understanding of narcissism. If you understand that, you know how to brand. Ooh, that's good coffee. It's called vanilla custard, and it is kind of vanilla custardy. Well done then, Nespresso. So we got a new territory. We have a new show starting tomorrow night. It's going to be Fridays. I'm going to drop it Friday around, I know. Well, for me, Sabbath comes in around 7 o'clock. I guess I'll drop it around there, right? It'll be about 5 o'clock UK time. So not night, afternoon. That's something to get your weekend going. It's each week we're going to look at another bit of weird and wonderful cinema that you may love, you may hate. It's basically that's how it came out last night when we looked at our first thing, which I wouldn't say hate, which was Alan Moore's movie Showpieces. Alan Moore and what's his name? I kept telling myself I can't say the movie without his name. It's Jenkins. Something Jenkins. Alan Moore Show Pieces. Something Jenkins. Phil Jenkins, maybe. Oh, I tell you, Mitch Jenkins. I feel bad for him because he's a talented guy. But yeah, you're standing next to Alan Moore. What are you gonna do? Yeah, it's like, he's like. I actually believe Alan Moore. I think him to be a genuine prophet. I mean, I really do. I do think he is very in tune to real spiritual realities. A lot of his theology, I agree with. I mean, like, he's big into idolatry, which of course I'm not big into. But the fact that he intuited it, right, and there's a lot that he intuited about, like, really deep Kabbalistic stuff, which we have that written down in books that you can get to read if you like gone through a bunch of other books first, and you can understand it. Right, so and he kind of just worked it out for himself. That's pretty bloody impressive. I'd say pretty bloody impressive. And the other thing is this is a weird thing, but he has a unique understanding of Jews and the place of Jews in human history. And he sees the differentness, and he doesn't see it in like wow or like wow or like yeah. He sees the differenceness. And he's like kind of fascinated by it. Like you can really see that in his work, From Hell and Providence. There's a little bit in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. You have Bulldog Drum and hated Jews. It's like which I thought was very funny. Yeah, I thought that was very on point for the character. But there's these wonderful sequences in Providence. Providence is his really breathtaking exploration of H.P. Lovecraft, and it's like he takes you. It's on an exploration through this fiction, this Lovecraftian fiction into Lovecraft. It's absolutely incredible. It really is. So there's this bit in it where he's like, there's a dream sequence where there's all these dead fish on the floor. They've been gassed, and it's like clearly an analogy to the oncoming Holocaust, and it's really bizarre. You know, like yeah, there's this other bit where what was it, the first Ripper murder takes place in From Hell or something, like at the same moment of Hitler's what's the word, inception, right? And there's this dream dream sequence that you know, young adult's mother had, with like these Jews in Europe, and suddenly all the blood starts pouring out of all these synagogues and like swallowing them all. It's really incredible. But yeah, so he it's really okay. It's really weird for somebody not Jewish to get Jews in a place of history. It's really unusual. I wonder if he understands anti-Semitism, because honestly, if you don't have Jewish heritage, it's the weirdest thing. I'm telling you, I see it every. Okay, you know what this is like? I used to live in Miami. This is a much nicer analogy. I used to live in Miami, and I like Disney World a lot. Disney World was awesome. Oh my God, Disney World was fantastic, especially back then in like the 2000s. But the way to enjoy Disney World, well, firstly, we had a season pass. That was awesome. The reason we moved to Israel is our season pass ran out. Like, what was the point of staying? So we I really knew Disney very well. I knew the ins and outs of it. I would make maps for people to go to Disney with, you know, specialized for them, because I knew, like, I knew you want to go for a fast pass here and do this. Like, I really knew the science of it. I was like really good at it, and I am. I would make maps about, like, I'll consult with them. I'll ask them, like, well, what side of experience do you want to have? What do you like? What do you think? And I'll send them on this like perfect route around Disney World, or whichever kingdom it was. So the way to really enjoy Disney, I think the most important way is that you have to stay on ground. If you stay on ground, Disney is open just for you. The parks are, like, have a different park open just for the people staying on ground, and that's freaking awesome, because there's no lines, and you just own the place. It's fantastic for like an hour, and especially if it's like at the first hour of the day. If you get there at 8 in the morning, then you can be like, yeah, by the time the park opens, you're mostly done. It's awesome. Picture this on a Christmas day in I don't know, what year was it? 2010, maybe 2011. We're in Florida, not Florida. We're in California, and we're staying at the Disneyland Hotel there. And so I get the kids up at like 6 in the morning, so we can be at the park at 6:45, because the doors open at 7. And this is Christmas Day, baby. This is the Super Bowl. This is the Super Bowl, Disney. You gotta get in there, right? You gotta get in there. So we did that. So we had a breakfast already booked. So here's the other thing: booking breakfast. You just gotta book it. Boom, boom, take your targets out. And now, if you're really good, we did this one time. If you're really good, there is a very special Disney breakfast with the Disney princesses, with all the Disney princesses, right, in the Magic Castle. And to get that, you can only book it 90 days in advance. But if you phone 5 minutes after the lines open, they're all gone. You got to be the first one in there, and you got to try for a few days, to do it. And so we did it. We got there. We got to that exclusive breakfast. So, like, that's how much we knew Disney, right? And we used to tell people, look, we're going, you got to stay on site. You got to stay on property. There's actually, there's actually very good budget hotel options as well on property. Everything in Disney is freaking good. Everything in the parks is freaking awesome. Their tagline is "Have a magical day," and they're not lying. They make it really magical. Oh my God. And I've never seen firework displays like that. I mean, is there? Oh my God, California is a legal state. I wonder if you can get high at Disney during the firework display. That's got to be awesome. They probably sell that as a Disney experience. They're corporate bastards. They probably do though. But it's so we would tell you, you got to stay on property. You got to stay on property, right? No other right. You got to stay on property. It's like so vital. And they, yeah, we're staying right outside. They're like, no, No, he said, no, we got this big apartment. It's great. They've got a pool. They said, no. He says, right outside. Yeah, no. It's like you can walk. No. You got to be on. And it's like, so that's what it's like. Try to explain anti-Semitism to somebody who doesn't have any Jewish lineage in them at all. I can always tell if a guy is like his mother was Jewish, right? I can always tell. Like, I was arguing with this guy on Facebook once. I really like this guy. Really like this guy. Really smart guy. Really good at oh man, he's one of the best guys I ever argued with. Matt Etheridge is his name. Really smart guy. But I could tell he was Jewish because he wasn't on board with like the whole Israel hatred thing, which is kind of just, you need to be on board with that to be in the left wing. Like that's just like that base. That's just a thing. You can't be left wing without that. And like he wasn't on board for that, and I like talked around it. So I knew, and it turned out he said, "Oh yeah, my grandmother's Jewish." My mother's like, "Yeah, really? No shit." Absolutely. So it's the same. So it's like, listen, you guys may understand. Okay, I think you guys may be sympathetic, but if you understand it, that probably means you have a Jewish ancestor somewhere or not. Let's get to the chat. Let's say hello to people. The Fisher King. What a very good name you got there. I love that movie. Absolutely love that movie. It's I think, is it Gilliam's best? I mean, I love the Adventure of Baron Munchausen. So the Adventure of Baron Munchausen, by the way, is going to be the fourth week of the Video Vault? So the first week of the Video Vault is Alan Moore's showpieces. And we had a really good panel. Oh, it's a really good panel. We got Mega Geek. And Mega Geek, he's a filmmaker. He knows what he's talking about, right? So it's really good. And I also know we often disagree a lot on dates, But I really appreciate his perspective. We had him. We had Dan from Type 40. Dan's like, again, Dan is like so steady. Dan is like your bass line that you want, that drum beat. That Dan is like, you can rely on Dan to be Dan. Dan is like a backbone, or whatever he's on, he becomes the backbone of it. And like holds it with it. Just is like, I don't know if it's competence or if it's a pretense of competence, if it's there a competence, but I appreciate it anyway. Then we have problem being is like let me think, how can I right, like problem being likes fruity stuff. I think that's the best way of describing. Yeah, he likes to be fruity. So me too. So but he's a little bit more than me. So that was good. So he really liked the movie. It was Alan Moore's showpieces. Really freaking weird. It's really freaking weird. If you can watch it beforehand, it's worth watching. I think so. But it's really weird. It's a bit slow. Some people find it a bit slow. That's what I found out last night when we recorded it. So we did that. And then next week was going to be not Reservoir Dogs. Oh, that's a good one to do. Rumblefish, which is this wonderful, almost entirely black and white movie by Francis Ford Coppola in 82. And it's kind of like the dark reflection of another like very famous ensemble piece called The Outsiders. But this is so much better. So it's a much better ensemble as well. Stars Matt Dillon and Nicolas Cage. And everybody else, like Mickey Rourke. It's really freaking good. I mean, I think here's the thing. I'm older now, right? And so I remember things being good, and I go watch them. I'm like, oh, okay. Or think it's more often the other way. The things I thought I didn't like, I like a lot more now. Fine. So the Fisher King, yeah, I like that. That's got to be in a Video Vault. So we're doing that. Yeah, we're doing Reservoir Rumblefish. Week after that, it's got to be Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles is, we want to do this because you can't get any close to that now. I reckon that's going to be so refreshing. I would love to get Bolstrek on that. And that's the one I want to get Noel on as well. That'll be fun. Then I want to do Adventure of Baron Munchausen, which is the Terry Gilliam movie. That's how I got there. So what movie is better? I like Brazil as well, as a lot as well. Brazil, Baron Munchausen, or Fisher King. I would say, a Fisher King, maybe. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go Baron Munchausen because it's just so bonkers, right? It's just so freaking crazy. Fisher King's number 2. I love Fisher King. Fisher King is like an absolutely beautiful one. I wonder if I'll enjoy it now, knowing Robin Williams killed himself. You know, that's actually gonna. I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of that at all. Fine, okay. So Fisher King, evening. Jodie makes my head hurt. She does us all, mate. She does us all. That's what Jodie does. That's a doctory superpower. You know, Tom Baker had a disarming grin, jelly babies and a scarf. Jodie's an annoying. I can't say the word, but it rhymes with bunt. She's an annoying bunt. She's Dr. Karen. Oh, yeah. I'm talking to people on Facebook today about it, and like they say, a lot of people say, look, it's just the writing. A lot of people say it's season 11 was dub, but season 12 was great. And I hear their point of view. Okay, I understand where they're coming from, but I can't agree with them at all. I don't know, for like real reasons. Like, I just think her performance is so bad. Like I can't quite process how bad it is. Like I just think I'm thinking about her on a motorbike or in like doing the casino stuff or confronting anyone or doing the socially awkward scene. Oh my god! Oh, they're so bad. And like all the way, it's okay to be jokey, right? It's okay to be like, you can have a bit quite like Maximus. Most of Maximus' tenure was like that, right? That's fine. But you've got to have that's got to be your persona, right? The performance has to be there's this core of an alien who's pretending to be jokey, but you've got to have the core there. There's no core there, you know. That's I can't stand. I was so on board for her as well. This wasn't prejudged. If you're new here, this wasn't prejudged. Fine. So Fisher King, hello. Charlotte Chills, hello. Kellyn, reminds me of Oprah. You get a job? Yes, I know. I was thinking that. You're cancelled. You're cancelled. You're cancelled. Oh, you're so cancelled. I was gonna actually wanted to embellish it, but I thought it would just be too much. I wanted to say, you're cancelled. You're cancelled. Oh, you're certainly cancelled. Icky thump, boy, icky thump. You're cancelled. Yeah, that's where she would be, isn't it? I mean, she'd be so on the side of the cancel crusaders, right? She would be so on their freaking side, which is why she's so freaking terrible as a doctor. Oh, God, makes me want to retch. Oh, anyway, because I love the Doctor. I love Doctor Who. Rebecca. One of our panel last night. How are you? Good evening, Daniel Leach. How are you? No freaking news day, is there? About freaking anything. The second Star Corps dropped, and I haven't finished listening to the first one yet. I was trying to get through that, but that's the only thing I like. No, this was a drive. Like normally you just kick back and say, listen, somebody's got to say or do something stupid that everybody's got to talk about, right? That's gotta happen. You're always within 72 hours of that, right? And it's normally in Doctor Who, right? It's normally in Doctor Who. But nothing. It was like it was absolute desert. So fortunately, there's a bunch of stuff going on that I really want to talk about the cancellation of superheroes. And that was coming. Oh, we all saw it. Everything's getting cancelled. Everything's going to get cancelled. Anything good will be cancelled. Everything is going to get cancelled. And then hopefully nothing will be. But they tore down a statue of Haile Selassie last night. Like, what the hell? I don't know who Haile Selassie is, but what the hell did he do to anyone? They was just standing there since 1910, and all of a sudden, screw that, Haile Selassie, he's coming down, mate. Really? I didn't the Rastafarians like Haile Selassie? Haile Selassie, ma. Yeah, they did. Fine. I remember the 80s. I was there. So Rebecca, good evening. How are you, Dan Leeds? Hello. Oh, wow. Did I just jump? Wow. Whoa. Okay. You sure will be correct. Okay. I hope nobody. Okay, and that's Daniel Leeds. No, not for me. Okay, I'm going through this. Oh, here we go. Colin Peasmith. Good evening. Oh, Darren Manners. How are you? And Colin Peasmith. Good evening. How are you? Hi at Disney. That could explain a lot of reasons, couldn't it? I know, but it breaks my heart. It breaks my freaking heart. You know how good Star Wars Land should have been? Oh, doesn't it get you like how good it should have been? It should have been like, I couldn't stand it not going there. Like, I couldn't live with that. And thank God it sucked. Oh, thank God. Thank you. Oh, I prayed that the good Lord make me a billionaire so I could go, or make it suck. So 1 out of 2 ain't bad. I'm sorry about that. You suck. The good Lord looks after your small enterprise entrepreneurs. Yeah, so I did that. Could explain a lot. Yeah. Well, there's sort of, there's a lot of coke making a lot of decisions in the entertainment industry. When I went to Disney with my parents, we stayed on campus. That's the campground, right? Oh, and they got the Chip and Dale show. And you have a schmooze there. Oh, it's awesome. Love it. Yeah, 1 second. When I go, I'm cheap. I say, see, I can't do camping. I watched The Walking Dead, right? The first season of The Walking Dead, and they're in camp. They're in RVs, but they're in tents. They're in RVs, and and they're doing that so the zombies won't fly them. I'm like, oh, screw that. I'll let the zombies eat me. I can't live like that. Are you out of your mind? I'm not living in a bloody tent. No, let the zombies eat me. And I'm not even joking. That's how much I can't do camping. So I stayed in a log cabin there. That's the closest my wife would get me to camping. I am not a camping person. I'm terribly sorry. One time my family went camping without most of my family went camping without me. I was like, without me or my oldest daughter. She's actually much worse than me. Like she will rough it less than me, and I won't rough it at all. Like I don't like having to go up a flight of bloody stairs. Oh my God! It was a year ago. It's a year ago that my son. We got a Facebook thing. That was my son graduated from officer school, right? And that was in the middle of the freaking desert, right? I'm not joking. There's this town called Badachad, which is like south of Beersheba, which is the freaking desert. I mean, you're in the desert. I'm not pissing around. This is a desert. If you break down there, there's a good chance you can die, right? Although my son tells me not, because it's he knows about orientation and stuff. So, but it was so hot. Oh God, it was so unbelievably hot. So I have to slowly trudge, through the stadium with 1,000 other parents, all with their children going on the, graduating. And so we stayed at this. There's a cheapy hotel next to it, but I like the chain a lot. But the way this hotel is built, I had to go up like 7 flights of steps to get to bed. I was like, "Are you out your bloody mind? That is outrageous." I was not up for that at all. So yeah. Anyway, so in the what was I going to say? We were talking about Disney, campus camping. Oh, I can't remember. Coach, it's awesome. Universal fun too. I love the Harry Potter parks. Yeah. Yes, I go. Florida resident discount. Listen, Halloween is owned by Universal, right? But listen, I'm going. I'm going out on a limb. That park unit, that park division is going to be broken up. Disney's going to be broken up. That's the end game, I think, for their like insanely bad management. The company is going to have to be broken up, and then the parks division is going to form one part. And now I don't understand why that's a bad thing, but they're like, oh my God, no, it's the end of the universe. But yeah, I suppose they become a bunch of like less powerful companies. But yeah, I'm not sure how tenable it is for the parks division to carry them, especially the parks division is like just been wiped out this year, right? The parks division is like, they basically lost their entire income. They had January. They had like 2 weeks. They had like they had about 4, I would say 6 weeks, right? Before they really like were screwed. And then they got to the point where they're like, oh my God, okay, we're just closed. Although I tell you, Disney, We went there after, right after was it a hurricane? It's like there's devastation everywhere. Like tiles are frozen. There's like trees blown down. It's like whoa, it's like the minute you cross those Disney grounds, everything's perfect. Like everything is perfect. I don't know how they do it. It was like the day after. It's crazy. Yeah, so I like me a bit Disney. Derek Man says, even have a Jewish answer, or I live in Northern Ireland. Easy to identify with Israel. You probably both. I would say probably both. Let's see if I can move up the chat without it jumping. The sheriff is near. Oh God, yes, Blazing Saddles. Oh man, you know what? I want them to remake Blazing Saddles with Chris Rock as the sheriff and Adam Sandler as Gene Wilder. I think that would actually really work. And then have Harrison Ford play exactly the same role because he plays this old guy in it. Yeah, what's he saying? He says the sheriff is near. Oh my God. I can't wait to. And then, oh, you know what? I have to get one a minute. Mega Geek brought up Live and Let Die. That's so gonna get cancelled. It is so outrageous. Like I don't know how we're just waiting for this more. Like basically we're just hiding. You ever played that game Alien Isolation? It's one of the few video games I really enjoyed. So most of that game is like hiding in terror. In closets! I'm not even joking. You have to hide in a closet, and if you don't scoot back enough as the alien's going by, he might hear you, kill you, and then they did a VR version of it, right? I was like, oh my God, that sounds like the most terrifying thing ever. Melrox did an interview recently, relatively recently, where he admitted that a lot of his movies could have been made in especially Blazing Saddles. Yeah, listen. Every real comedian is like saying this is the Joshua Carpenter, how you doing? Welcome. This is a gentleman I met on Facebook today who liked season 12. Everybody be nice to him because I want to get him on at some point to explain like why. No, you know what? I'll be honest. Listen, credit where credit's due. I want to say good stuff. Okay, Cyberman design, love it. Best Cyberman design ever. You know what? That is, I will go like best Cyberman design ever. I even like the stupid Cyberman like flight things. I'm like, yeah, if I didn't hate the era so intently, I would have liked that, right? So that I love the Cyberman design. I quite like the Cyber Lords as well. I like them too. Can't argue with that. I like the design. I like the idea. I thought the execution was that's a whole other issue. I like Sacha Dhawan as the master, not because of anything he was given to do, purely because he was so happy to have the role, so incredibly happy to have the role, right? But and they got the spectacle up as well. Spyfall, they really put money into it. They pumped everything in it, but going through all of it. This is why I think Jodie Whittaker's terrible in the role. Is Jodie Whittaker? She was like a wrecking ball of pure and total suck. Okay, let me qualify that. So I'm not telling you, oh, she's awful. It was. There was no believability in the role. Here's the impression I get from her when she playing the. She plays it like a character that isn't that she sees no reality in. This is like a children's TV show. Silly thing. She doesn't understand why people like it. She knows that people do, but she doesn't like. She doesn't need to know the motivations of the character. I don't think she understands the character. I think the character, she thinks she can be a little clowny, whatever she bloody wants. But I'll do it like David Tennant. Doesn't really matter, right? Now, what Matt Smith? I say this all the time. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. What Matt Smith did, because he was equally ignorant of Doctor Who coming into it, is he watched the story from William Hartnell, from Patrick Troughton, from John Pertwee. He watched every Doctor, right? Every Doctor. And from that, he pulled out a through line of he understood the character incredibly well. Like incredibly well. Like going back and watching his Doctor Who now is like really kind of breath because you're really understanding his performance. Like, and it's really clever. It's like has a he's returning to a simpler time in his life. He's returning to a happier time in his life. That's why he's really he's very Troughton-esque. But really, what it is like the Troughton's performance in Two Sidemen so touched Matt Smith. He's like so good. It's like, this is awesome. This is this is incredible, and it matched him perfectly, right? And I think he fell in love with Doctor Who. That's why I love it. I really that's why I love. Was it Julie Gardner? Julie Gardner was one of the original producers, and she was like, "Yeah." And Russell T Davies got her to watch City of Death, and she said, "Now I get it. This could be freaking huge, right?" And it was very interesting, that story. That's why I always thought it was a shame that in the watch-alongs they didn't do an official one with City of Death and have Russell T Davies tweet through it, because you know what? Because he really gets it, and I just think it would be lovely to bring newer fans who aren't so knowledgeable about the classic series into it. I just think, and I think they'll, because you know what? When somebody starts watching Doctor Who, I'm just excited for them. I'm like, oh man, this is the first time you're gonna see. Oh man, and like I just know every incredible moment you're gonna. Oh, it's just like I'm really, 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 really happy for them. So yeah. Fine. It was, so yes, that's based in a nutshell. And I just don't think Jodie Whittaker sees a reality in the role at all. That's why she said, I can do whatever. That's why I don't think she sees a reality in the sonic screwdriver. Like when she uses it, it looks like doesn't look like somebody who is using a tool that they know what they're doing. Which all the other doctors, they look like she's doing. I mean, right? It's just. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. I'm sorry. Oh. Don't know any other way to say. Oh, did it just jump? There we go. There we go. Fine. Well, the cat's gonna live in the day because of the show. I'll bring you on in a minute. Okay, give me a sec. Just let me catch up. Okay, I'm 10 minutes out. He was the emperor of yes, he was the emperor of Ethiopia. It's just funny to be an emperor. Yeah, but I don't know anything about the politics. I know the Rastafarians like them. Celia Beckett, I am from New York. I don't camp. There you go. Fine. I meant to say I stay off the Disney prowl. Oilanu, Yomadin, Yomadachocho. It's a bit of Yom Kippur supplications for you. By the way, there's a TV show. If you haven't seen it, I really recommend it. But the last episode doesn't understand it and blows it up. But other than that, it's freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. And that show is The Leftovers. So essentially, it has Crystal X in it, and he is incredible. He is just freaking incredible in it. See what happened. The premise is, one day 3% of the population vanished. Boom, just vanished. And so it basically means everybody's touched by it. Like every single human being is touched by a different level. Christopher Eccleston, and most people think it's a religious event. Most people think it was like the rapture. So Christopher Eccleston plays a priest in it, and he is having a nervous breakdown. That like a real crisis of faith. Like, why wasn't he taken? Why wasn't he? And that performance is so good. Also has Pastor Joseph, who was very, very hotly tipped to play the 11th Doctor instead of Matt Smith. But it's a show about theology in a very interesting, weird way, and I found very moving, and it's a very slow burn. It's a very slow burn. Now, the second season is completely different from the first season, like completely different. And again, the third season is equally different. I really disliked the last episode intently. And I think I know exactly why they do. Because honestly, what they were saying, and they were doing it from a very intuitive basis. They were intuiting something that I think their soul was telling them something of the basic truth of theology, like a theological reality. I think, and because that's why I think it was so freaking accurate. It was essentially they were doing it by it's called Ruach HaKodesh, which is I guess prophecy, right? It's kind of like it's a type of prophecy. It's just like where it comes out. It's like automatic, right? But I just think they were like responding to like a real spiritual truth within their soul. But then when they got to the final part and if they omitted it, their entire worldview falls apart, right? So they had to really unpick it. and that's why I think the last episode is so unsatisfying. But the journey on the way there, even though the destination doesn't work for me, makes it really, really worth it. Fine. Let me get through this. Okay, fine. Paul Smith says, I lived in a tent for 9 months. Oh my God. Several through deep the depth of winter. Oh my God. Even looking at a tent gives me a oh my God. It actually hurts me. It's like, that should freak me out. That is not good. I'm glad you're not in a tent anymore. Okay. I'm really glad. Don't tell me why you're in a tent. That probably wasn't a good reason. There we go. Well, the film and showrun doesn't understand Doctor Who. That is also true. You know what? To be fair to her, the showrun doesn't understand it. You know, and or he willfully doesn't. But he just advised her terribly because he was scared to tell her anything. Right? I think he was scared to tell her anything because everybody else turned him down. Maybe that could be a frightening truth of it, couldn't it? Fine. Nearly caught up. Did it jump? It just jumped, but I think I got everybody. Right? Okay. If I missed you, I apologize at me. Fine. So next thing, let me invite, because I think the topic of conversation does need to move to Live and Let Die. Live and Let Die. Okay. Mega Geek, I'm sending it to you via Twitter. There you go. We'll just I kind of like this bit more chilled stream tonight. I mean, I do want to do the superhero thing. That really is important. But honestly, when we go over Lower Decks, it's going to take 5 minutes. There's nothing there. They gave the channel announcement, the premiere date, right? And there's like nothing there. I'm like, oh, what do I have on my face? Yeah, that's not good. I have to go on a live stream to see what I got wrong. There we go. What the hell is that? That's weird. Everything's weird. Listen, I'm living in my basement. What do you want of me? Wrong eye. Everything's reversed when you do it this way. What the hell was that? That's so weird. Weird things happen when you party naked. Shit happens when you party naked, baby. Chris Purchase here. Hello, Chris Purchase. I don't see you though. Okay. I sent it to you. Where are you? Come on, man. Come on. So his theory is Live and Let Die, which I think it's a pretty. I don't see how it can't be cancelled. Quite frankly, right? And it's like it's so not kosher anymore, right? Like how can it avoid being cancelled? But there's so many things. It's basically the mob hasn't found it yet, right? That's the problem. The mob hasn't found it. As soon as the mob finds it, but again, is it? I mean, there's some things get a reprieve, like what's it called again? I'm sure Joss Whedon's going to get a reprieve. Jimmy Kimmel, Ellen DeGeneres, basically anybody on their side, right? Anyone on their side always gets a reprieve. So So I like maybe it will as well. I don't know. Probably not. They are cultural Marxists and vandals. They are terrifying human beings. Fine. Okay. While waiting for Mega Geek to join us, we will go to bounding into. Oh, that's interesting. New headline: Alan Tudyk. I can never know how to pronounce his name. Comes to the defense of Joss Whedon as support for support for Ray Fisher Mounts. Okay, fine. Let's open this up. Let's see what's going on. Share screen. It's a Chrome tab. Alan Tudyk. Now, okay, that I like him in TV shows and movies. Does that make a difference to me? It shouldn't. Oh, there you go. There's Mega Geek. Mega Geek, you're kidding me during a bit of a news flash here. Now hold yourself together. Alan Tudyk, who I don't know how to pronounce his last name, comes to the defense of Joss Whedon as support for Ray Fisher mount. So, obviously support for Ray Fisher will mount because it's a cause you can't go wrong by supporting, right? And you're just going to make yourself look good, right? You can't go wrong by supporting Ray Fisher in this one.
What's this all about?
Okay, so Ray Fisher, the guy who played Android in Justice League,
yes,
right? Who clearly too big for his boots at this point. You think he put out a tweet yesterday saying, Joss Whedon is gross and unprofessional and abusive. Maybe even in that voice. That was the voice he was using. But he basically Me Too'd him. He says, listen, bitch, you're a bitch to me on set. Now, check out the skin color, baby. Who's in charge now, right? That's essentially what went down. And it worked, right? But everybody piled on Joss Whedon. Now, don't get me wrong. I am really happy to see the mob devour Joss Whedon. Even though I think he's innocent of any wrongdoing. I'm really happy to see if he's going to go down. I can't think of a better reason for him to go down than be eaten by the own mob that he helped create and stoke and has always teased and wanted to be a part of. So, like, I'm always happy to be, even though I think it's complete bullcrap. But anyway, so Alan Tudyk has come out in the defense of Joss Whedon now. So
he was in. Was he in that TV show of his, Fly-Fi?
Yes, he was watched. He played the Fly.
Yeah.
Good show.
Yeah, it's a good show. Well, that's what's happening these days, isn't it? Everybody's cancelling each other. It's just stupid, and even people are cancelling themselves, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Warren, it's a circular firing squad. It's a
you know what? If I was an actor and if I was a producer, well, I am producing the director.
You are.
Now, if I was famous, if I was known, I would stay off Twitter. Because it's a horrible place to be, especially if you're famous and you're well known. Do you know what I mean? So I don't understand why any actors on Twitter, let's face it, especially now, because they can get you and they can cancel you, right? So I don't understand why they're on Twitter.
Because they have to scream about how terrible Trump is. That's why they're on Twitter.
Yeah, they don't need to be on Twitter to do that, though.
They can't live without it. They have to.
But do you know what, right? It's people are just mean these days,
They are. Like the people going after Noel. Have you looked at that stuff?
Yeah.
That's insane. Those people are, oh my God, so much work has gone into hating somebody. Yeah. And it's pure hatred. It's like, there's no redeeming feature whatsoever. What was it? So, Economy says Rabbi crashed again. Are you back? What happened? I think I'm here.
I think the best way to avoid a fight is not to be there. That's what I
Right. I agree. So anyway, so let's have a quick look, see what he says. And come to the events of his friend. That's very nice. Doom Patrol and Harley Quinn star Alan Tudyk has something to say. Why don't we just read this tweet? Who gives a crap? Wasn't there, but I have known Joss for 17 years, and also can't even imagine it. I have a pretty good imagination. Okay, well, that's fair enough. And then,
what made people hate Joss Whedon? I mean, when he was doing Buffy,
he's a total disingenuous, two-faced piece of crap. That's what he is. That's why I can't stand him.
No, right, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, like he's one of the glitterati, right? These are the worst people in the history of humanity.
Wow, they're all hiding.
YouTube is getting buffering on multiple live streams. That's interesting. Okay, well, I'm sorry, it's falling apart. It's interesting. Fine. So it's kind of a non-story. Although, fine. You know what? The other story I do want to talk to you about is your super chat on Nerdrotic last night, which I really like. I really agree with it.
Let me explain what happened. Right, what happened was I asked him that question 3 times, and the reason why I asked him 3 times was because when I asked him the question the first time, his things go on forever, and you know his time is different to my time in the UK. So I was trying to keep up, and I was like, when is he going to get to my chat? And I just gave up and went to bed. So I didn't know whether he answered it or not. Then I sent him another one. Apparently he answered it. Then I sent him another one. Apparently he answered that. But when I looked at the his video, he didn't answer it, right? So that's why I sent it the 3rd time. And he seemed a bit angry when he answered it. I don't know if you found that. He was like, "No, Ian, no." No, I know he wasn't. I know. But you know, I mean, he was all for it last year. Everybody was all for it last year. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I think I think he saw the error of the ways. Quite frankly,
yeah, maybe he knows. You know,
here's the thing. I think if you do something that you own, rather than have somebody else, and you can so easily do something that scratches the same itch. Here's the thing. Let
me explain what I was going to do, right? Because it's not clear. What I was going to do was going to make a fan film, and I was going to write the script, and I was going to ask the fans if they wanted a fan film. And if I collected enough money to make the fan film, right, what I would do is I wouldn't put it on YouTube, right? I would basically have a website up and say, if you want to see this, I'll send it to you. Therefore, I'm not putting out broadcasting it. It'll be individual people. If they want to see it, they can watch it. Therefore, how could they copyright strike me if it's not?
They'll find a way.
Well, the thing is,
with their buildings full of lawyers, they won't find a way to screw you over.
Okay, right, but there are loads of fan.
Find a way.
Wait, hold on. But there are a lot of fan films on YouTube of Doctor Who, and they use the TARDIS and they use actors and stuff like that, even though they're badly made. But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You know, it doesn't matter anyway. You know, it's as I said, it's one thing ticked off my list, so I don't mind. I don't have to make it.
But you know what? Like, yeah, like I just think it. Like, okay, I was doing the strip called the Ice Warriors. Yeah, I'll show it. It's on my website.
Yeah.
Second, was it Biblical Comics? There we go. Biblicalcomics.com. It's opening slowly. Yeah, well, let me share the window. This is a long way around to get to a relatively simple point, but I think it's worth it. I think. Doink. Okay, fine. Are we there? There we go. Fine. So there's a strip I did. Yeah, the Ice Warriors. So this is a Doctor Who strip, right? Okay. Click. Is it frozen?
It's a bit slow. Your thing.
Oh, maybe it's. I think it's thinking about it.
Jody's there. What's that all about?
I haven't seen it. That's it. It's so okay. This is so funny that it's stuck. I'm telling you, it's stuck. It's stuck on this. This is a strip I did. Dr. Woke. You ever saw this?
No, but it looks funny though.
It's the TARDIS is running out of power. Well, okay, fine. Is this working? I go up again. Oh, fine, good. I'll talk you through this. So the first panel, she says, whenever anyone needs help, I always give it, unless they voted Brexit or Trump, in which case they're sexist, racist, scum.
Was that your attempt of her accent?
Yes. So then, panel 1, she says, plead Denora. And then Ron's going, I'm scared, and I'm a man. Take that, patriarchy, and your expectations. Graham's going, what's happening, Doc? And Yaz is saying, I have literally nothing to say or do. It's almost as if the writers think the only thing of relevance about me is my skin color and gender.
That's true, though.
But that is true. So then the next panel, Dr. Woke says, chuff in hell, we're nearly out of power. Even a BBC PR press. I'm laughing at my own jokes. It's so bad. A BBC PR press release saying that where the most popular ever won't help. Okay, my wonderful diverse fam, get ready for an emergency landing. You see the ratings dropping, and boing, they've landed in America 2025. They say it's been under terrible oppression for 9 years now. There'll be lots of people to help. And then she goes, Eki thump, this is terrible. There's what's the economy is the best ever. Unemployment has been eradicated. There's world peace and prosperity everywhere. So Graham goes, "Cool, blimey, Doc, that sounds wonderful. What's wrong?" It says, like, "Good is terrible. It means the patriarchy have taken total control." She says, "We must join the resistance." So we see the resistance is them. Fine, but as I said, there we go. Finally got to the place.
I think the BBC's taken over your stream. They literally took that off.
So fine. So this is the Ice Warriors. It's basically about the Ice Warriors. I did one pastry I did with Stefano Cardacelli did the art, and here we went into color eventually, which was kind of fun. And then we did this story, which is essentially Apocalypse Now with Ice Warriors. And then, but we got to the point and said, listen, this is stupid. Why don't we do something that scratches exactly the same itch, yet we own it? So I did this instead, Crown of the Empire.
Yeah,
which is like
which I can't see, obviously.
Well, what?
I can't see it.
Why not?
The screen's blank.
What's going on? Oh,
yes, it's blank. It's been blank.
Oh, we try that again.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad you mentioned.
No, I thought you knew. No, I can't do it. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Fine. So yeah, I'll go back to Ice Warriors then now. I think it's this bit. Ice Warriors. Fine. So we did this strip called the Ice Warriors, which was it's cool. It's really fun. I like this one. So again, eventually we went into color.
Did you do this on a computer, or did you do it the old-fashioned way?
Oh no, I didn't do the art. Stefano Cardacelli did the art. Right.
All right.
So he said, "Listen." We wanted to like something we owned. So I said, "Fine, I'll do something." And so this was basically based on a lot of very colonial English stuff, right? So I said, "Fine, I'll do this instead," which is essentially, the plot-wise, it scratches the exact same itch, but it's like something I own. It's like something very. Yeah. 1 second, I'll go. And again, he did the art. Yeah. Oh,
sorry. Go ahead.
No, go on. What were you saying?
No, it looks interesting. No, I'm just saying it looks interesting, and I love comics.
So I'll show you the new version. So this is me doing the art in this one.
Okay.
So it's I'm going for much more a bit of.
It's really good. Oh look, there's Gary.
Yeah,
it's Gary.
100% based on Gary. 100%. Yeah, because that was the starting point from it, right? He's basically the main character. But the nice bit of Martian weed going on there. There's Gary again. You can see it much more in black and white. Yeah. But again, I reckon this sort of thing, which is totally alien, is totally achievable on a micro budget.
Yeah, it kind of.
What
they can do on After Effects these days is, of course it is.
Yeah, I mean, basically you can get the colonial out, but I'm just saying there's so much stuff you can do. Oh yeah, I really like this scene where the natives are about to attack.
It's great art, though.
Thank you.
Really good art.
So this is going to be the book I'm going to do a Kickstarter of when I finally build the channel up. Here, I love this. He's getting arrows in the face.
Well, I can do that now.
Here's the poster.
Oh, pretty cool. You probably get cancelled for that picture, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, that's it. I wanted to be sexy. It's like
exactly
to be sexy. Why not? Like, we're all sexual beings.
We are indeed.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. This world's crazy now. I don't understand it at all. I really don't.
Dr. Woke is on Biblical Comics. But okay, tell me your pitch for what we're going to do about. Why is Live and Let Die in danger?
No, I was watching some of it today on YouTube because I couldn't be bothered to fish out my cupboard with loads of DVDs, and I came across that scene where that I can't remember his name is Pepper.
Is this the first one or the second one? This is the first.
No, this is the first one. This is the first time
Right.
he appeared. He stops the black guy in his car because he was speeding.
Oh,
do you remember that scene? And he tells him to put his fingers on the fender and stuff like that. I was thinking to myself, my God, if these cancel generations saw that, they'll probably have a fit watching that scene.
There's so much racial stuff in that. Like when they're trailing James Bond at the beginning, he's in Harlem. He says, "Well, how can you follow him?" He says, "Shit, man, he's like a cue ball on a."
Yeah. Well, and they also call him Honky, don't they? They call him Honky.
I mean, it's like none of that. You can't have any of that anymore.
You can't, no.
And that I think is just such a shame.
It is. But the thing is, though, I don't understand why people would want to cancel something like that. That's basically part of our history. Anything that was in the past, obviously. Sorry, say again?
Because they're morons.
Oh, yeah. Well, that explains that.
Because they're morons. It's really it. I mean, it's 100%. They are morons. It's incredible.
Well, as I said, I don't understand it personally. I try, I do, when I'm bored, I do put things up on Twitter, and I should really come off it, tell you the truth. But then again, it does help, because like I've teamed up with Dan now, and he does a lot of, live streams. And so it's kind of important to be still on Twitter and advertise his stuff. And sometimes my stuff.
That's the only reason I use Twitter at all. That is the only reason.
Yeah.
Twitter's the worst place ever.
And also, when I see, where on Twitter it's got, what has it got at the side? When people link you to other tweets. I can't remember what's on the side.
Whatever. Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah, notifications, right? Sometimes I get notifications, and I don't even know what it's about. It's like, I've been linked in it, and I try to follow it, but it won't let me go to the original source. So you're like sitting there going, why am I included in it? I didn't even know what this is about, Oh
God, it's always somebody really mad about politics. That's what 100%. You go to their timeline, it's like everything is all Trump, Brexit, Trump, Johnson, Tories. So that's all you bloody hear. They're all like that. Every freaking one. And that's been cooked to it. Like Ben Cook's brain has been cooked by MSNBC. I reckon he was, a normal person, and now he's bonkers. I mean, have you seen his tweets?
Yeah.
Like people thought he was a bit salty. I was like, yeah, whatever. Then I read. I was like, what the hell? I just a miserable person. I feel bad for him.
I get tweets, from Doctor Who and stuff like that. Mine is not so much. My Twitter is not so much about Trump or anything like that. I have all the people that are into pop culture on my one. I don't know what your one looks like, but mine is just literally people talking about Doctor Who, Star Trek, and all that stuff on mine. Gary.
And what that was my first sketch. I'm like, I want the hero to be Gary. 100%. That's why I wanted to be Gary.
His first should be Babyface.
Yeah. That's a pretty good. I think it's a pretty good likeness.
It does look like him. Yeah. It's pretty good, actually. It's very good.
I think he looked like was it Donald Sutherland? Yeah, that like I wanted that kind of like look.
Yeah. Is it like Zulu but with aliens?
Exactly. 100%. Yes. 100%. And they have to fight their way back through the Martian jungles to civilization, so they can get, and then they join the counter assault where they crush them. He turns into a pulp. But then at least ultimate peace and happiness.
Well, as I said, it's terrific art, and if I would buy that comic, definitely buy that comic, and I know Gary will. So, right, so
Woke is on the front page of the website. Yeah, sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, no. So, what's your title of this video again? It was Star Wars, wasn't it? Star Wars. Doctor Who.
I was actually going to get us a newsletter. I wanted to do the what was it? The Time magazine attempt to cancel superheroes. That's something I think very important. We need to address. This was one of the other items. The again Star Trek Lower Decks. That's going to take 3 minutes. So there's nothing there to that story, right? But like it should be a major story, right? So there was that, and there was this one. This was the main story, and there was a second one. Oh yeah, we'll do the Dark Gray. The Dark Gray is to save Star Wars, which I haven't read yet, but I guess we'll do that as well. Fine, let's go to this one. Time magazine declares superheroes a problem because they star straight white men. So they obviously haven't been following comics for the last few years because they've also, the people who make comics have found that a big problem, and they've done everything they could to make them not straight white men. You know, not there's the problem, not being a straight white man. I'm quite happy for anybody to be of any level of bentness they want, straightness or bentness, and really any skin color doesn't really bother me. I'm okay with pretty much any hue. Is there any hue that bothers you?
I'm from a family of 7, and my brother is black, and my younger brother is black. I'm this color. My mum is white. My dad was my color, and my gran was black. So I come from a multicolored family. So when I was growing up, I didn't understand what color on people's skin meant, because I grew up in a multicolored family. So
nobody gives a shit. Nobody get like if you ever met anybody, because they're weird. They're like really, like people who they're just weird people.
But don't people realize that when they put an article like that saying that is racist, right there?
Yeah, no, they don't care.
Racism doesn't stop with black people or Chinese people.
It's so insane. We've gone so backwards. I mean, like, Leon, I keep trying to not use the phrase "idiot children," but like, really, I'm like, I don't have any real choices. Fine, let's have a look at what's going on here. Okay, Time Magazine, the subscribed feminist writer Eliana Doctorman. Okay, she's a Doctorman. Recently wrote an article declaring that superheroes are a problem, specifically taking issue with the number of superheroes' gender, race, and sexuality. Okay, so look, here's the basic truth in the world, and I think we'll stay on the picture. Almost move up it. Mino wonderful cover that caused so much controversy. Here's the horrible truth in the world: most people are straight. Most people are heterosexual. It's okay if you're not. Nobody cares. It's fine. Whatever you want to do in your bedroom, nobody really cares. But most people are straight. So if you cater to straight people, you get, that's how you kind of catch the most people, because most people are freaking straight. So and let's say you want like more of a male demographic, which I know you don't want, but let's say that you want. Then you'll probably want to do attractive women. You'll want to do attractive women, and I think they figured, as we're doing the men in skin tight spandex, right? Maybe we should do the women in skin tight spandex as well. That was it. What? My wife is something Mexican.
What's interesting about this is that when I was growing up and I read a lot of comics, they're the people that you aspire to be. Superman, full of muscles, handsome, could pick up a building.
Yes, they're the pinnacle of human existence.
Exactly.
I was talking about Disney earlier. We went to the Tarzan show at Disney, right? And at one point, Tarzan comes out and he's like this muscle-bound Adonis, right? So my son was like, "Oh, that's a suit." I'm like, "No, that's what human beings are supposed to look like. You've been hanging around with your father too much. That's the right thing, not this." I saw a trailer today, right, for a romance film, and for the life of me, I can't tell you. It's one of the latest romance film, and they had this Asian woman. I think in America, Asians are Chinese-looking women, but in England, when we say Asian, it means Indian-looking people. So they had the that's an interesting difference, isn't it?
Yeah. So in this film,
you can run into problems with that.
Yes, you can, and I have been. But yeah, so I saw this trailer, and it had this Indian-looking woman in it, which she wasn't very attractive. I wouldn't call her ugly, and it was a romance, and the guy was pretty good looking. And I was thinking to myself, you know, do I really want to watch this? Because when I watch romance films, I want to see a beautiful woman. I want to see, you know, a good-looking guy, because that's the fantasy. That is the fantasy, isn't it? About a romance. Why take that away?
No, well, that's what, again, you know, you don't go to a movie for real life.
Exactly.
You know, you don't go to it. Like, for God's sake. Yeah, no, you want idealized perfection. That's what movies are. You know, I mean, to a great extent. You know, Tom Cruise. You know, it didn't hurt that he's a good looking guy.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, it's not killing it.
As I said, none of what's happening today makes any sense to me, and I don't understand.
None of it makes sense to anyone.
I don't understand why the people less, you know, like the small minority of people is having such an impact on Hollywood and everything in the world. Since we outnumber them.
It's because they are the Hollywood. They managed to, they gatekeeped out anybody who doesn't think like them. There is no diversity of thought allowed.
Yeah.
And so it's like become a self-perpetuating cycle. They think they're the majority because they're the only people they allow to be heard.
Yeah.
And like and you know, the social media companies are very complicit in that as well. If Dr. Man's name sounds familiar, she's got to make that name right. If it sounds like a James Bond villain. I am Dr. Man. What? Dr. Man? Okay. Okay, Dr. Man. Sounds familiar. She was part of the chorus of voices that attacked Marvel Comics for publishing Marlon Brando's Spider-Woman #1 variant coming back in 2006. You know, okay, she's a nice ass. That's okay then.
But hold on, right? Yeah. So look at the costume she's wearing, okay, right? So we're not allowed to see beautiful women in spandex costumes that shows off their curves, but women are allowed to see Henry Cavill dressed in Superman, looking buff as ever. How the street only goes one way?
I would say a far more enjoyable part of Superman not Superman Returns. It was Man of Steel. I think it was my daughter, who is now 18, 19. This was her sexual awakening. Well, I knew exactly the moment was when Henry Cavill went to the screen and it was on fire, and you saw his chest like rippling through it, and she was like, I literally felt her grab the armrest, like, and several years earlier, I had exactly the same experience with my other daughter while watching Pirates of the Caribbean, and Johnny Depp walked onto the street. She was like, oh. It gives you an idea of the difference between the two.
But why aren't we allowed now to see good-looking women on screen? Why aren't we allowed?
The male gaze is bad.
Why is the male gaze bad? I don't understand.
Listen, I can sort of hear the point, because it does objectify women, but
no, but hold on, no, that doesn't make any sense. How does that make any sense? Because they're objectifying the guy who plays Superman, because the guy's spandex, he's got muscles.
They don't care about fairness. When have you ever met an SJW who cared about fairness? Ever?
Well, okay, well, that's what I'm saying. So they have no leg to stand on. If the road doesn't go both ways...
Well, they do have a leg to stand on because they control the road.
Well, that's the thing, you see. If they control the road, then people are not going to use that road anymore. So Hollywood's going to be burned to the ground one day because of their stupidity.
One day, very soon. Very soon. It's, and they're willfully disconnecting with the audience. I mean, and it's and they're not making enough money. Like, it seems to me that Disney's going to have to be broken up. Yeah,
I mean, what is it that we're talking about?
About 10 million this year.
Yeah,
that's really not a lot. That's really not a lot. And again, they're like losing so much money from the parks. Oh my God! I think that if anything's going to drown them.
Well, every major studio's in trouble now. The only people that are not in trouble is Netflix. Netflix is loving it.
And, Paramount's probably okay because they tie themselves to Netflix.
Yeah.
That's going to save their asses. It really is. But I think it's going to save them. Like Paramount was doing terribly. Now they're doing pretty much the same as every other studio.
but there's a story, right, a long time ago when during the 40s, I think it was, when TV was introduced and cinema was first and TV was introduced, and all the major studios thought that TV was going to fail and people were going to cinema, and it was only one studio that decided to embrace it, which was, I think it was Universal, and they opened up their old studios to make westerns for TV and stuff like that, and they become the top because they embraced TV and film.
Well,
and so
not at first. There was the first, I think, year, there was a bunch of campaigns about saying how bad TV was.
Yeah.
Like showing how small the picture was. It was very adversarial. There's somebody had the idea, wait a minute, we can supply them.
Yes.
We can supply them, and they worked out a financial system, and it worked, right? And that's basically how they survived, yeah.
And this is the point, right? The point is that I think these studios really need to now think about streaming and think about what people want. Otherwise, they're just going to go under, like they did in the 40s, right?
Yeah.
So
look, BBC are resolutely not going to make things people want to watch.
They're going downhill anyway. People are refusing. You know how many people came off the BBC license recently?
Oh, it must be
thousands. Yeah.
Right. Good. I hope it's tens of thousands.
I don't know if it's tens of thousands.
That'd be awesome.
So
they decided they don't want a program for the country anymore. They want a program for a small segment. Okay, let them pay for it.
Yes, I'm saying. So people it's the reason why they're coming off it, because they don't want to pay for propaganda. They don't want to pay for this stuff that they're seeing.
What else could you call Doctor Who? Propaganda. It's so propaganda.
Did you see that James Corden interview with
oh my god, yeah, no, I got in trouble for that. I got a copyright
Did you?
claim for that.
Oh dear.
Oh, right. Was it a claim? Well, they took the video down because of it. Oh god. I mean, listen, James, we know you played a giant cat, okay, in a movie. You don't have to be more of a pussy than that, right? But he was. They're like, really, can you imagine? He said he will say if he could go back in time. He's talking to his 10-year-old self. Says, "Yeah, in the future, it'll be incredible. I will play there'll be incredible technology made to have me play a cat. It will be the most breathtaking technology you could imagine. It will actually transform me into part of a cat, and I will sing, and I will dance, and I will giggle. And that's not the gayest thing I'm ever going to do. I'm going to be a bigger pussy than that." Oh, so cut. How did he have no respect for himself?
But did you think that Matt Smith was having a go when he mentioned the Christmas special?
No, I don't think he realised. He was like, I think he's very much like his doctor, just kind of wants. Hey, well, I don't think he realised how terrible she is. I don't think he's seen any of hers. I don't think he knows there's any controversy. I think David Tennant knows, but I don't think he knows at all.
But you know what, right? I know someone who works at a production for Doctor Who, BBC. Well, he's not working now, obviously, he's been furloughed. But he told me a long time ago that they get people to watch YouTube and watch people talk about Doctor Who.
I'm looking forward to that. It's a sign of success. That Noel's been so targeted is a sign of success.
Well,
it's I mean, I know they watch Nerdrotic. I mean, they live, and now he's at the quarter million subs. They live in total fear of him.
Yeah,
constantly,
they do.
That's why they can't stand that's why they keep wanting to deplatform us. They can't stand the freedom of information.
Yeah.
Right? That's where it's going. Fine, let's read this bloody article. In an article titled "We're Re-Examining How We Portray Cops on Screen." Well, you are, crazy woman. Now it's time to talk about superheroes. Okay, I hadn't finished the cops debate yet. What? And it wasn't a debate. They're okay, idiot. Okay, fine. Let's move on. Okay, no, you want to get rid of superheroes. She declares that superheroes are the problem because they are cops with capes. I mean, they are They are morally just people who institute law and order and justice. Yeah, that's the appeal of them, you stupid cow. Oh my God. Yeah.
Why did they allow them to write this stuff?
What?
I said, why did they allow them to write this stuff? It makes no sense.
I don't know, because she's a supervillain. She is Dr. Man. Dr. Man. I am Dr. Man. She begins her article implying that there is something wrong with police officers and notes the knee-jerk reaction in Hollywood to violent Black Lives Matter rioters and looters who are demanding police forces across the country be disfunded and dismantled. Like, I can't believe they're doing. I mean, they're going through with it. Like, hey, let's get rid of the police. Take $1 billion. Really? Oh my God! Like, I mean, how's it going to play out? Like, I hope they go and attack the rich liberals first. Okay, rioters. The rich liberals have the best stuff. Go and take it from them. It's not fair that you don't have it and they do. And they'll be happy to give it to you. It's your reparation. Go there now. Go to Palo Alto now. Right? Go there now and claim your right. Claim your birthright of whatever you want. You go do that. Go to New York. Go to New York where they're defunding the police. You know, go to de Blasio's house. Take whatever you want. You know, they should refuse to give it protection.
Did you hear that Brie Larson's got her own YouTube channel now?
Oh God, I can't believe it. I like. Oh my God, it's incredible. I didn't have an erection, but I loved it. No matter what. I mean, you maybe invertedly flaccid. Oh my God, that's wow. God, that just the mention of a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen her for a while. Oh,
no. And now we're going to see every day because I bet it'll come up in your feed.
Oh, God.
Every day.
Give me plenty of content. Oh, yeah, that's going to be hilarious. Right, she says that Hollywood has canned cops and live PD and shows like Law and Order SVU. Incredible. That's gone. Popular show now. And of course, the biggest miscreant, Paw Patrol. I kid you not. Paw Patrol is gone.
Why?
Because it's a positive representation of the police as puppies.
I don't understand. I really don't. A bunch of idiots, all of them. Bunch of idiots.
The first two paragraphs of the article, demonizing police, Dr. Man then makes the comparison to superheroes. She writes, but as we engage in the long overdue conversation about law enforcement that I always hated, because they gave me a ticket once and it wasn't my bloody fault. It's high, and that's the entirety of what it's about. It's the entirety of what's it about. It's high time we also talk about the popular characters in film, the ones who decide the parameters of justice and often enact them with violence. Superheroes. Again, this is entirely, yes, this is the attack on the comic book industry. This is the reason that comic books have been under assault, comic book characters. It's an entirely reason, because they represent truth, justice, and the American way. You know, American way is, I would say it's predominantly straight, but okay if you're gay. You know, but it's not okay that it's predominantly, but that's the problem they have. You know, I'm sorry, people are mostly straight.
You know.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you.
What do you call it? You know, they're allowed to have.
Wow, who did that cover?
It's a great cover.
Yeah, wow. That cover is Superman.
Yeah.
By the way, here, I'm going to take an aside and I tell you my next project, after I do Crown the Empire, is going to be a Superman story. I'm going to do my own version of Superman. We'll make him different somehow. We'll have him from a parallel Earth instead of from whatever. They make him different. But essentially, it'll be a celebration of everything that is Superman, right? And so I wanted to start it off like his Fortress of Solitude is like this massive crystalline structure floating in the lower atmosphere. I figured it'll be kind of similar to having the North Pole, you know. And I wanted that very like Richard Donner film music. So imagine Superman sitting on top with the super dog, because you know having a dog is so American. It's so good. You pull back and you kind of imagine the Richard Donner, and you see the whole, the majesty of it, right? And so the plot will be the universe's version of Lois Lane. It's called Laurie Lynch, right? She's scored an interview with Superman, so he swoops down to take her up to Fortress Solitude for the interview. Gets kind of started, but gets interrupted by a Mr. Plix type character who zaps them with a reality ray, right? Then boom, turn a page, it goes white, and then you're in a 1930s style Superman story, 1930s style art, and he's like, but the narrative continues, but he's in that reality, right? And he basically hacks through that reality throughout the rest of the book, gets himself to a 1950s book, then a 1970s book. And then he's like in a 1990s all gritty. Then he gets for a couple of pages, we'll put him in like modern day. He breaks through another reality, and he's a black woman, obviously, because he's and that which makes him back. But so that's essentially what I would do. What's that to say? Regarding Cavill Superman, examine the design of the costume. The eye is drawn directly. It is, isn't it? Oh my God! Your eye is drawn directly to the crotch. I mean, even more as if they had the red shorts. It's your eye.
Not really. I disagree. I mean, when I looked at that picture of Superman,
we're putting it up. 1 second.
What? Go on then.
Henry Cavill Superman.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, look, okay, come on.
No.
Yeah, no, my eye's going directly to him.
Well, you know why, don't you? Because some idiot removed his red pants, which I totally disagree with till this day.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, again, I'm just looking at his dong. Look, it gets it makes it like a V. Yeah, it totally.
Well, you are, not me. I'm not. My eye doesn't.
I see more dong than I do with.
No, my eyes always go to the red symbol on his chest. My eyes always goes to the red symbol on his chest.
Yeah, but the red symbol was pointing to his dick, right? And that matches. Oh, can you see my cursor? It's exploding.
Well, you're looking at it. I'm not.
I'm looking at his red. I noticed that a lot. Yeah,
I disagree.
Oh yeah, super crotch.
I disagree. Totally disagree. I think I'm a huge fan of his old costume. I'm a huge fan of the Christopher Reeves costume.
Right.
I love that Christopher Reeves costume, and I think Christopher Reeves looked more like Superman than anyone on this planet. Unbelievable first movie.
You know what? He certainly has the charm, which I think was really missing from all future incarnate. Even what's his name, Superman Returns, which
no, he looked nothing like him.
That down into a reasonable movie somehow.
Hated that movie. It was terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I like bits of it. I liked what's his name? Who's been cancelled? For good reason, from what I understand.
Lex Luthor guy. Yeah. Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey, and I oh God, so annoying. And honestly, if he raped anyone, send him to prison. If he didn't rape someone, put him back in movies. Make up your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, like either I want him playing villains again, or in movies, or I want him in jail. But this halfway house shit just isn't flying. Okay, if he raped people, put him in jail.
I met him once actually when I was in Cannes. Yeah.
Did he try and rape you?
No, he was
like that.
No, he was spaced out. Would you believe?
Okay.
He was sitting on his boat, and he was just spaced out. Totally spaced out.
Yeah. That's how I like him.
It didn't matter what I said to him because he was too spaced out. Kevin Spacey was spaced out.
Spacey was pretty darn spacey.
He was.
Because of the slight issues she has with superheroes, with few notable exceptions, the crap one, more on those later. Most superheroes stories star straight white men because they're aimed at straight white men. who even function as an extension of the broken U.S. justice. It's only broken because of you insane people not wanting to arrest criminals. You know, like once the U.S. justice system can't arrest criminals, then that's kind of a big break in it, isn't it? Yes, I think so too. Civil or as vigilantes without checks on their powers. Well, that's what makes them cool. Document continues. Usually they have some sort of tentative relationship with government. The Avengers work for secretive. Yeah, now she goes on to blathers about how much she doesn't know about comics. Batman takes orders from Gotham Police Commissioner.
Right, he doesn't.
When did Batman ever take bloody, like, even in the 60s Batman show, he didn't take orders.
Because she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, she'll take requests. Again, there are degrees of cases that claim to be racist that are probably not like the one with DeFonte Miller. I don't know who DeFonte Miller is. Oh, man. Not saying he deserved it, but the court believes he broke into the cop's car. Like that guy who's like facing trial for his life. The cop is on trial for his life. Mm. The guy, okay, the guy stole his taser and was chasing him with it. You know, I think that's like you're allowed to defend yourself at that point. I think he really didn't want to kill him. Yeah. I think if he could have found a way to avoid killing him, he would have been much happier. I think we all would have been. But there was a crazy guy chasing you with a bloody taser, and you got a gun. Of course, it's going to go down badly. Oh my God! Seems pretty obvious. But again, of course, the winter's going to get burnt down as well. Then.
Stop. So why would they allow this woman to write this stuff? This is bounded in comics, right?
Right.
Why would they allow? It's so obvious that she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Academia is assholes. Academia is part of the problem. Academia is a major part of the problem. Like, I would love there to be checks and balances on academia. I would love it so if any publicly funded university or college of higher education didn't offer equal political theory taught from both the left and the right. If they offered like an unbalanced view of social economics and politics across the board, if they did that, then they wouldn't receive funding, and they wouldn't have that. That's what they should do. Make them bloody accountable. Oh, five. So go with an agency. In the comic, Shield occasionally oversees the Avengers. But the team originally came. Okay, fine. He's explained she was a moron. What the only example Doctor Man gets correct is the Suicide Squad were typically right. Yeah, exactly. That was supposed to. The point of Suicide Squad was to show government corruption. That's what made it bloody funny. Yeah. Oh, idiot. Dr. Man writes, in real life, in fact, real life police officers sometimes adopt symbolism of rogue anti-heroes. The Punisher, a brutal vigilante introduced in 1974 Spider-Man comic who starred in the 19... Okay, blah, 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 telling you sometimes cops adopt the Punishers. Yes, they do that. That happens. So what? There's another side. Dr. Man makes no mention of the Black Lives Matter also supporting them. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Fine. What else is he saying? She goes on to note a number of people who have shown up to Black Lives Matter wearing Batman and Spider-Man outfits. Really? That's weird. Okay. It's weird. Listen, the weirdest thing I've ever seen is somebody wearing a Star Trek outfit, and that was
in a riot.
It was the original Series 1 to the premiere of Star Trek 4, which was like at 10 in the morning in the Leicester Square Theatre in like 1984 or whenever it was. So I thought that was a bit weird. Yes, here's like Iron Man occasionally feel guilt about the casualties they inflict, but ultimately empower themselves again and again to draw those more, empower themselves to keep fighting. Oh God, I hate
them. That's right. She's talking shit.
Yeah, how much more of this? I don't think I can't. No more.
You can't watch any more.
Oh my God! No,
There's loads of it.
Enough. Yeah, she's an arsehole. Let's find the Star Wars article. Let's talk about Dark Ray. Dark Ray, where are you, Dark Ray? Okay, no.
Star Wars. Oh, God, don't get me started on that.
Jeez. Simon Pegg about how we got to bend the knee to Black Lives Matter. Terry Crews, cancel him, obviously. God, who wants to go and see this? This pirate?
Why do they want to cancel Terry Crews?
Because because he said that. Yeah, I guess we'll read it. Defeating white supremacy. 1 second. Terry Crews says defeating white supremacy without white people creates black supremacy. Equality is the truth. Like it or not, we're all in this together. Because of that. Because of that incredibly reasonable, good statement that he made.
Stupid.
Yeah, that's why. Oh,
makes no sense.
So
These people are crazy.
They are crazy. X-Men First Class actor Kevin Bacon loves the idea of toddlers marching for Black Lives Matter. Well, you're insane then. How many degrees for Kevin Bacon? Quite a few. Come on, with a Simpson. Here we go. Dark Ray. Oh gosh, it was so unconvincing. I forgot about that. That movie is just a headache. By the way, do you think that movie was really made to be a 6-hour miniseries on Disney Plus?
What, the last Star Wars film?
Yeah.
You know what? It's a terrible movie. I don't care about it. I don't even care to comment on it because it's just crap. The last 2 Star Wars movies was just a huge letdown. What is it? The one directed by Rian Johnson, it was like pooing on all the fans. Let's face it.
Oh my God! Well, that created the Phantom Menace. Hey, 1 second. Kevin W. Clark said the cop was probably had anger. I don't know. I saw they had the video footage. That's the thing. You could see him running for his freaking life from the guy. He was daring, like he asked him to. He did everything right. I saw the footage, but anyway, maybe he had anger issues, but I think he looked like he was right in that case. I love him. No one's right when somebody has to be killed. Okay, no one's happy about somebody being killed, but like there are times when it's a justifiable homicide. Again, the timing was terrible. I think he probably really wished it didn't happen, and he didn't want it to happen. But I think that when you have a crazy man charging you with a taser, shit happens. Anyway, he was super pissed. Someone had the balls to break into his car. Then he went. No, that wasn't what happened. He was drunk out of his mind. He was drunk. He was very drunk. And then he went way too far and used the pipe as a weapon. He should never have been employed. I don't know. Listen, it just seemed to me he followed every legal measure reasonable. And you know what? Maybe he didn't. Maybe he did. It seems like he should get a fair shake. You know, we are saying all this is about justice for people, and I don't think you're going to get justice by removing it from other people.
Justice is a different concept today. Let's face it.
Justice is for a lot of people. It's about winning. It's about winning. Okay, fine. The new rumor details that Dark Ray is the key to removing Disney Star Wars from the trilogy. Fine. Please remove it. Okay. The new rumor details how Lucasfilm will remove Disney sequel trilogy beginning with The Force Awakens from canon. You know what? I mean, Force Awakens, I didn't mind that much, but it's got to, unfortunately, it was the only bit that was, it's inexorably connected to this turd.
But listen, right? Look, what I don't understand, right, is JJ, right? No Star Wars fan would have read the first Star Wars Disney movie and would have gone, "This is great."
I enjoyed the first one. I
didn't. I thought I
enjoyed it.
No, because it wasn't.
I didn't blink in the whole thing. I was upset it finished too quickly for me. Right? I was like, "Oh no, Luke Skywalker just showed up. Now we're gonna it's over."
But
right?
that's what I'm saying. This is the reason why it was bad, because it didn't give the fans what they wanted. They wanted to see those three together. I knew something was up when I first saw it.
I'm not a believer in giving the fans what they want. It would have been nice had they done that, and I hope they would have done that by the end, but they killed it. I don't know, like, you know, it would have been nice, but like, again, I found the story really serviceable. I just thought it was a good setup. I thought there was a lot of fun stuff they could have gone from there.
It's just a copy of the first one. The New Hope, A New Hope. It was just copied. The story was a copy.
Yeah, that 100%. I agree with you. Yeah, 100%.
Then why do that?
I'm just saying. I was entertained by it. I wasn't annoyed. I wasn't going, well, that's at odds with everything I believe Star Wars to be. I felt that was a delightful continuation of Star Wars. But then I saw The Last Jedi. I was like, every creative decision in this is wrong. You know, like everything is wrong about this. Like every freaking thing. You know, it just felt like there was so many. It felt like it was the first part of a story, and they could have gone somewhere with it. And I think the place where they were intending to go, look, ultimately, if that was what JJ wanted, seems kind of stupid. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Every part of the first one made me feel uncomfortable. Like Han Solo's not with Princess Leia anymore. It made me feel uncomfortable because
that was above.
Yeah, and then he's back to being a smuggler. That made me feel uncomfortable, right? And then what is it? All the other stuff that happened in there as well. You know, like he lost the Millennium Falcon. That made me feel uncomfortable because that character cannot be that. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you about everything. Right.
But that character cannot be that stupid, and that's what they did with that character. That's the reason why I didn't like the first one. You know, and what's his name was intriguing. You know, Han Solo's son. He was intriguing, but it wasn't enough to save the film because the film had the same story as A New Hope, and all these things they did to the main character didn't work.
All the criticism of it you're giving are entirely accurate. I can't argue with you at all. I just enjoyed it. I was so happy to see Star Wars back, and it felt like Star Wars.
I think a lot of people felt that way. Yeah,
and and I was like, it felt more like Star Wars than the prequels did. It felt like real Star Wars.
Yeah,
and I was willing to overlook all its significant, limitation, all its significant faults. You know, it's.
But you know what? You know what people want, right? What people want, right, is they want to see the original cast, and then they want to see them slowly phase out and pass it on to the new torch. But that's not what they're giving us. They're giving us the new cast and bits of the old stuff. I think they're going to do the same with Ghostbusters. They're going to be the kids, and you're going to have bits of the Ghostbusters. And when it should start off with the Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters, and it's slowly, you give the torch slowly to the new people. They'll never do that.
I have to wait and see. I have to.
Yeah, exactly. Good guess, though.
The only thing I think they could really do with Star Wars at this point, if they erase the Disney trilogy and they want to do a sequel, instead of like 100 years later, have the Republic being set up, and the only character be alive is Luke Skywalker, like an aged Luke Skywalker. He's the only one who remembers,
but
right? And and like again, he's the only one that really remembers.
Yeah.
And then it opens up to a new villain, new thing, and if there's so many things they just dropped the ball with. Like I thought the whole Finn was really interesting.
He was,
He was a stormtrooper, but like, oh god, really? How they did in that second movie?
He was one of the most interesting characters in the whole of that saga.
And all because of John Boyega's performance. John Boyega is a real star. He has real star quality.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yeah. Fine. Let's read. This is apparently from a Doomcock video, which I've seen. Fine. So they're going to use the veil of the Force, this time travel. The rumor comes from Doomcock, and as a follow-up to the rumor detailing how there's going to be a plan in motion to save Star Wars using the veil of the Force, a concept introduced in the Star Wars Rebels episode, A World Between Worlds.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's lots of time travel doors. And
divert your eyes. Male gaze. Male gaze.
Only 1 in 4 can name the most beautiful stars of all time. Can you? I can't name her. Do you recognize her?
No.
I've no idea. I'm not really looking so much at her face, but okay, fine. In this new rumor, Doomcop explains, it's so weird. I don't look at any porn at all, and it's like, why am I getting that? Why, whatever. Doomcop explains that two sources contacted him with the following his previous video, and the detail that indeed Lucasfilm does seem plan on using the Vela Force to save Star Wars. Okay, he explains. Lucasfilm is preparing to render the sequel trilogy null and void. The events of The Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker will be removed from canon, isolated in their own alternate timeline as regards to an Elseworlds. Okay, yes. Okay, what's got to do with Dark Ray? Doomcock goes on to detail how Lucasfilm will use the Veil of the Force to render the sequel trilogy. Okay, yes, we've already read that. As always in the information. Comes from inside Disney or Lucasfilm, and I can't find. He's saying it's a rumor. Okay, fine. Later, says it will be explained that Emperor Palpatine has a room on the second Death Star called the Room of Mirrors. The mirrors created by the Emperor prior to the Death Star through the dark side using the ancient Sith rituals. He intended these mirrors linked to the Veil of the Force served many purposes. Using them, Palpatine could manipulate the Force in many ways to further his aims. He then provides an example. For example, all the mirrors could. For example, the use of the mirrors allowed Palpatine to cloud the Jedi Council and conceal himself and his dark apprentices. Okay, that's fair enough. From the Jedi and the Force sensitives. Doomcock then. Doomcock continues using the mirrors. Palpatine was allowed to access the awesome powers of the Veil Force. They were indispensable tools that allowed them to rise to. Okay, tell us what's about Dark Ray. Oh God. Okay, in the episode, in the Star Wars Rebels episode, the blah 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 blah, Palpatine does not appear to have the ability to access what Doomcock calls the Veil of the Force, but is able to use physically. He is unable to physically enter the realm like blah blah blah. In order to attempt to physically enter the Veil of the Force by using some kind of force fire whip, he tethers to Bridger, whoever that was. Ashoka cuts the tether and prevents Palpatine from doing it. Okay. Doomcock then details how long is this? Are we nearly there? Jeez, come on.
Quite long.
Okay, really? We better get to Rey soon. Okay, I'm not really that interested in Star Wars. Okay.
Oh well. To cut a long story short, basically what he's saying is that they have the Veil of Mirrors, and they're going to use it to retcon not retcon. I mean, to say that was a different universe.
One second. Let me just find Rey. Where does she appear in this? Fine.
Well, that is you see the bit with Dark Ray. That is the clue. They're saying that is actually saying that there's that different timeline.
It's finally here. Yeah, I found it. He then details the scene. So in the Rise of Skywalker, when Rey goes into the ruins of the Death Star seeking the Sith holocron, and more importantly, some semblance of coherence in the plot, she discovers a secret room just off the throne room where Luke famously declared himself a Jedi before. Okay. Saying, and you see there is covered with broken mirrors. Shortly after Rey retrieves the Sith holocron, she captures a glimpse of the moment in one of the intact mirrors. She turns and confronts an alternate version of herself, the Dark Ray with a Swiss fine. He elaborates, this is the evil twin that actually emerges from the mirror and engages Rey in battle. Well, my friends, I can now hear Dingle saying it. This year times a glimpse in the Veil of Force. Literally anything is possible. Here, bracing alternate realities, converging and diverging, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, we're nearly there. Yeah, okay. Doomcock concludes, what is glimpsed in the mirrors is an alternate version of Rey, and lurking within the Veil of the Force is alternate version of Palpatine, alternate version of Luke, alternate versions of Han. Okay, fine. So it's exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
So exactly what you just said. Fine.
They're trying to do a DC. That's what they're trying to do on it. Different universes and stuff like that. So
option. It's their only. Again, I think if they're gonna my wife's here. Do you want me to get the camera on or off, my darling? Okay, well, camera on. You didn't tell me. Okay, I don't know what it is. Oh, it looks good.
Looks good.
Podcast over, everybody. Catch you later, everybody. Let me see. I'm starting to think just let Twitter, etc., have its way. When the world majority sucks, they all change their mind. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I just don't really pay attention to Twitter drama. From the False Horizons of Rise, there is obviously nothing original. It's very true, and they're very obviously overall plan through line. So the plan is, I believe, to make the George Lucas sequel trilogy. That was more so, which doesn't sound much better, like midi-chlorians or something like that, the realm of the midi-chlorians. And if it sucks, they can do another version. I'll dish you out another one. They go. They're like Doctor Who's regenerations. Now they're limitless.
Well, as Gary said in his thing, he said that it's too late now because they've literally destroyed Star Wars and there's no coming back from it. It doesn't matter how many.
I'm really not. I will look at it out of curiosity, but I'm not interested. Fine. Before I wrap up, everybody, don't forget this week's competition is for The Godfather. Fantastic set. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel and use the hashtag. You broke my heart, Fredo. You broke my heart, Fredo. I might go and watch it now. Give anything coming up you want to plug?
Not really. I mean, where I'm going to be doing more live streams with Dan. I'm going to hopefully do one on James Bond soon. I think that's 2 weeks off or something like that. But we're planning it because we always want to try and make something worth watching.
Paul Smith says, unfortunately, Lucasfilm shafted Boyega and made him like exactly. He should have refused that freaking role. He should have refused to walk around in that suit. He
got the contract.
Yeah, but you say, look, this is going to cause me actual damage. This is going to cause me damages. I will not be able to be a romantic lead after this. I will not be an action hero. This is going to damage my career. His agent could have made that stink. His agent should have made that bloody scene. His agent probably did, and he told him to shut up. Yeah, but his agent really made that thing. Okay, fine. I think I'm going to wrap up. Don't forget our new show tomorrow night. It is the Video Vault. I have to do a little bit of editing on it, and it'll go up. I might do another video tomorrow. I do not know. Who knows what they're streaming? So fun. I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. We never know when it's going to end. It's just could be an silence.